Over the course of the year, both in the classroom and here from this bima, we have been fortunate to be able to hear words of Torah from our rabbinic intern, and so it is a pleasure to be able to invite Matt Rosenberg up to the bima to share with us his Devar Torah for this Shabbat.
Thank you, Rabbi Bernhard. This week, we began reading the book of Leviticus, Vayikra, the third book of our Torah. At the beginning of the 5th chapter within our Parsha, we are taught that one who has seen or has learned.
It's a senior rabbi thing.
Thank you. We are taught that one who has seen or has learned of a crime and has not testified regarding that crime is themselves guilty and must bring a sin offering to the temple. The 12th century Spanish commentator Ibn Ezra takes the matter further, suggesting that one who is in possession of information must take action or risk excommunication. Our own Etz Chaim commentary teaches that we are held responsible not only for the wrong things we do, but for the things we should do and do not do. In chapter 19, in the middle of the book of Leviticus, the Torah teaches us, Lo ta'amod al dam re'echa, do not stand idly by the blood of your neighbor. Rabbi Solomon ben Isaac, Rashi, teaches that from this verse we must act when we are aware of a situation where we might be able to save another human life. 2 verses later in Vayikra is the famous, love your neighbor as yourself. This verse has been used in countless ways to encourage the Jewish community to take action against a plethora of social ills. None of these verses teach us that we must only help other Jews. The Torah commands us to help our neighbor in so many different ways, and in this increasingly shrinking planet of ours, our neighbor can be any citizen of the planet Earth. I use these powerful and important verses when I teach the social justice class to our 7th graders here at Adat Ariel. So earlier this month, when the insanely popular video about Joseph Kony began popping up everywhere and broke internet records by being watched 100 million times in the course of just under a week, I knew I needed to tackle the video with my students. If you're not familiar with the situation, let me summarize. The professionally produced video seeks to bring global attention to the case of Joseph Kony, the 2-decade-long leader of the Lord's Resistance Army in Central Africa. Joseph Kony was the first person indicted by the International Criminal Court in the Netherlands for his role in the murder and rape of thousands, along with the kidnapping of more than 30,000 children for use as child soldiers over the past 2 decades. While incredibly popular, the video has been widely criticized for its simplification of a very complex issue and for being several years too late. For the Lord's Resistance Army is today barely functioning, and Joseph Kony is basically powerless. Upon first viewing, my 7th graders were amazed and awed that one person, Jason Russell, the founder of the organization called Invisible Children, could have such an impact, and that such a video could be so widely seen and acted upon. The video encourages young adults, the ones most likely to view the video, to contact and email celebrities and decision makers across the United States to take additional action to bring about the arrest of Joseph Kony. Like or not, the video is having an impact. My students were so motivated to act, more motivated because of this one video than any of the other work we've done in class over the past few months, more than the texts we've studied or other videos we've watched. Most of our social justice curriculum in the 7th grade class consists around the work of the organization Jewish World Watch, as they work to bring international attention to genocides in Sudan and the conflict mineral situation in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. In both of these places, Jews have been at the forefront, have been a major force in creating international pressure to stop the ongoing conflicts. Omar al-Bashir, the president of Sudan, like Joseph Kony, is a fugitive of the International Criminal Court. In fact, the only criminal on our planet outstanding with charges of genocide against him. He also has not yet been brought to justice. New York Times columnist Nicholas Kristof acknowledged the power of the Joseph Kony viral video. He said in an interview, if ABC had sent a news crew out to the Central African Republic to try to report on Joseph Kony, it would have been amazingly expensive, somewhat dangerous, and very few people would have watched. He acknowledged that the producers of the video were quite brilliant in the way they created it. He said, I wish that the larger lesson was that people cared about humanitarian crises around the world. And that is the larger lesson. As our Torah portion this week teaches us, once we know about a situation like Joseph Kony, like Darfur, or like Congo, we have seen, we have learned, and we must act. Act how? Wear a bracelet, march in a walk to end genocide, call, email, and tweet your elected officials, donate funds to organizations providing help on the ground. Yes, 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 and yes. I continually teach my 7th graders that one of the most important things they can do is advocate, spread the word, share what is happening elsewhere in the world. A famous teaching of Rabbi Tarfon that is written in our Mishnah more than 1,800 years ago teaches you are not obligated to finish the task, neither are you free to neglect it. We cannot neglect these crises around the world, even in our own neighborhood. As Jews, we are obligated to assist the widow, the orphan, and the stranger. If Africa isn't your passion, you're not off the hook. Find a cause and act and advocate. Make known your cause. Our Torah this week from Parshat Vayikra teaches us that it is our holy responsibility to make known that which we know. During my first year of rabbinical school, I traveled to Africa with the organization American Jewish World Service. There I learned how vastly complex international relief and social justice could be. Before rabbinical school, I would travel the country with the American Red Cross, responding to disasters across our country. There I saw firsthand nearly indescribable poverty and inability to obtain basic needs. But in Africa, I saw that all the more so. Solving the problems of our planet is very, very difficult, and it will take generations of work. But as Rabbi Tarfon suggests, we are not to cease doing the work. I learned in Africa to advocate, to tell the story, to share what I know. I know about genocide in Sudan. I know about conflict minerals in the Congo. And now, thanks to a half-hour video, I know about Joseph Kony, indicted in 2005 by the International Criminal Court on 12 counts of crimes against humanity and 21 war crimes. I will continue to tell these stories, as our Torah instructs me to, until the perpetrators are brought to justice and the world is filled with shalom, with peace. I will walk in the walk to end genocide on May 20th with our Adat Ariel team, the Adat Ariel Justice League, on Sunday, May 20th, and I hope you will join me. Shabbat Shalom, Chodesh Tov.